Hi guys, this is T-Mash from Two-Way Syndicate, and today we're going to be doing an unboxing of Daniel Defense's M4 V11PRO. Okay guys, let's get started with this Daniel Defense, the M4 V11PRO. This is a pretty big case. Not used to these big cases like I am the actual pistol cases. They're a lot easier to deal with than these big guys. But without further ado, let's get started with this. And the first thing that you notice, obviously it didn't come with this. This Vortex was bought on the After Effects, but let's deal with a couple of things that I can see offhand that it comes with. Well, first off, it comes with this Daniel Defense buttstock, which has some nice little like rubber serrations in here. It's very soft. It looks like it'll be a comfortable cheek weld for you. It also has a nice rubber padding in the back as well for your buttstock, and it actually comes with an extra one. So it also comes with an extra one for your buttstock as well, that is a little bit thicker than the one that it actually comes with. This also has its adjustment. It's a little bit different than what we're used to seeing, like the mag pull ones. You kind of pull down. This one, you kind of just push that in like that, and then you can have your six adjustments as well. One of the things that I really like on this too is your actual pistol grip. So your pistol grip has like a little rubber on this as well, the same as the cheek weld for your buttstock, and it's a real comfortable feel on it. I like the way it holds in my hand. I haven't shot it as of yet, but so far I'm loving the way that it feels in my hand. Now, the one thing that you see my finger across is one of the big hypes on these, which is the Geily super dynamic 3-gun trigger that is on here. So before we get started, before I mess with this trigger, I'm gonna flip it to this side, pull this charging handle back, and you see that it's empty. I'm going to turn it upside down as well, and you'll see that it's empty. There's nothing in there. So with that being said, I'll finish with this the Geily super dynamic 3-gun trigger. It's got a lot of really good reviews on it. It pulled at about 3 pounds. Some people are saying 3 pounds or 2.5 pounds. This one pulled at about 3, but you could see there's very little movement to this trigger, which is really awesome. So let me go ahead and switch that, and you can see that little click right away. So once that's clicked, and I hold that down like that, when I go ahead and recharge this, you'll see there's very little take up, and that thing breaks right again. I'll do that again for you just so you can see. Click, click. I mean, it's right there. So this has been one of the biggest raves about this gun, is that Geily super dynamic 3-gun trigger. Now, it also has your T markings all the way up the rail. And what's good about T markings is that anything that you mount on this thing, you can use those T markings to go back, and that way it's going to help with, if you pull anything off, the re-zero. So your T markings help for that as well. One of the other raves that this gun has got about it is the actual it's an 18-inch barrel, and it's got the slim rail 15-inch key mod. This thing has had a ton of raves about it, only because that it's really, really sturdy. It's got this locking mechanism here that obviously the military loves so much that they picked this up. So this is one of the the rail locking systems that the military picked up as well from Daniel Defense, and this is in the key mod. So this has been one of the raves as well with that. It also comes with your foregrip on here as well. I actually like this foregrip, the foregrip, and one of the biggest things too is it's come with this it's a Gen 2 muzzle climb mitigator. So the way it's done is, the way they have this thing ported out is it reduces muzzle climb and has a really flat shot. I haven't, like I said, I haven't shot it yet. And from all the reviews that I'm seeing where people are actually shooting this thing, they're loving it. They've had, you know, there's been some mixed reviews here and there if it's worth it, but with all of the stuff that comes with this guy, it's going to be worth it because that's what you're paying for. For those of us that might have a regular AR that is going to be your standard $750, $850 AR, you buy those and then you kind of upgrade them to what you want. And like this thing comes with the Geisley trigger. Can you buy a Geisley trigger for your AR? Of course you can. It comes with the BCM charging handle, and coming with the BCM charging handle for Daniel Defense. Can you buy those? Yes, you can buy those. So, you know, the questions that always come up, if it's worth the money, it is worth the money if this is in your budget and it's what you want to get, and you have the budget to buy something like this without having to get a standard AR and then upgrade that. It all is dependent on you. If you got a standard AR, you could get all these components in your AR and buy that as well and upgrade that according to how your budget is. So is it worth it? Yes, it's worth it. But it comes with all that, and that's what makes it worth it. So, you know, I just try to get away from those questions because, you know, everything speaks for itself with what you have. I mean, this thing comes fully loaded with all kinds of great stuff. I mean, the trigger feels the best I've ever felt. It does feel a little heavy on the top end, but the biggest thing is that with the 18-inch barrel, the barrel is actually machined very well. It is a little bit heavier and it's stepped, so it's a little bit thicker actually toward the feed, and then it thins out as you go down the tube. So that's going to be a little bit of the heaviness that comes out of the Daniel Defense M4 V11PRO that I've heard so many people like kind of gripe about, that it's a little top heavy, but I think it's still light. It's lighter than mine. It is a great AR. I will come back with some footage of putting some first rounds through this and then come back and tell you how it is. If you guys have any questions about the Daniel Defense, please put them down in the comment section. I'd be happy to answer whatever I can. If I can't get the answer for you, I will get the answer from someone that I know that's usually a gunsmith or anyone like that. So again, guys, I'm going to come back with some more footage on this, and we'll continue with this review. Thanks. So, what are my afterthoughts? My afterthoughts on the Daniel Defense is, I hear a lot of people ask, is it worth the money? So I'm going to start by saying this. Depending on your budget and what you're able to spend, if you're able to spend the price that the Daniel Defense costs, it is definitely worth it. I am super impressed by this firearm. This firearm was probably the most flat that I've ever shot before, and it also was just really easy to handle. The trigger was phenomenal. The feel of the gun was phenomenal. Like I put in there, that cheek weld, everything fits. Now, can you buy a standard gun and do this with a standard AR and just upgrade? You could. By the time you get done, it's going to cost you what a Daniel Defense would normally cost you. But at the same time, if you have the budget to afford that, My thoughts are, go ahead and get it because it is definitely worth it. Now, all that also depends on what you plan on doing with it. If you just plan on having it for home defense, it's going to sit in your safe, you're going to use it only for home defense, then buy you just a standard AR and then go from there and then upgrade as you go. But if you shoot as much as I do, if you take a lot of classes like I do, carbine classes and things like that, and you're looking to run this AR, I would say go for it because it is definitely worth it. There is a difference. I have, with this Daniel Defense, 2 other ARs that I run. There's a total and different and significant feel from the Daniel Defense on shooting it. It shoots so much flatter. The trigger pull is exceptional. The gun just feels great. Compared to the other ones, those feel great as well. Those are great ARs. I would not give them up, but for me, speaking from experience, from what I had, if I would have done this first, I probably would have bought a Daniel Defense first or something along that caliber first. And therefore, from that point, I could go ahead and change and upgrade or switch out what I needed to switch out on that firearm. But for the most part, I am definitely impressed with the Daniel Defense firearm. That carbine is perfect. I don't have any negatives to throw back from it. I am not contracted by Daniel Defense. I would like to thank my dad for actually allowing me to shoot his Daniel Defense. It is a great gun. It's an excellent gun. Those are my opinions for the Daniel Defense. And again, I will reiterate, if it is in your budget to do so, it's worth doing it. It's going to save you money in both having to try to upgrade things. And I know you guys all heard the saying, buy once, cry once. If you get this gun, if you get this AR, if you get this firearm, it's going to be what you're looking for in a firearm. It's going to be what you are perceived to get after paying the price for what that firearm would cost. So in closing, I would say this: if it's in your budget, do what you have to do. Buy once, cry once. You'll be happy with the results from it. And again, this is T Mash from 2A Syndicate. Please hit that like and subscribe. Train hard, train often.